Okay, so hello, Juan. It's so nice to finally meet you. Why don't you tell me a little bit about who you are, first of all?
Sure. My name is Juan Quintero. I'm Colombian. I came here to the States about 25 years ago, and I got my bachelor's and master's from FIU. Eventually, I started doing business administration, but I fell in love with marketing basically, and I've been doing marketing for the past 40 years now.
Oh, that's a long time.
Yeah.
And how has it been your path becoming a digital marketer at Me Aesthetic?
So I started doing digital marketing. I started doing marketing about 14 years ago, but it was more on the creative side, doing more of the web design, a lot of graphic design. That was the marketing back then, and eventually it turned out to be more data driven. It turned out to be more of technology driven marketing what is right now. My path in me aesthetics, I got into when I got to me aesthetics, I was hired as a digital marketing manager, and everything has been about implementing new technology and being upfront to new techniques of marketing, basically.
Oh, okay. Okay. And how are you and your team measured? Like, what kind of data do you use to measure your team's performance?
So there's two main ones. One is acquisition, right? And acquisition, what I mean is acquisition is on the side of lead generation, right? Of how many leads your marketing ideas, your marketing efforts, or how many leads are pulling into the company, right? The second one is retention, and retention has to do with how many of those leads you're actually retaining to eventually become customers, right? And the third one is conversion. It's basically how many of those leads that you're acquiring are actually converting into a sale,
Mhm.
right? That's those. I think those are the three main KPIs that my team is being measured on: acquisition, retention, and yeah, basically it's acquisition and retention, most of it, and conversion. Those three are the main ones.
Yeah, sure, that's really important because I work at Mia too, so I know that a lot of the leads come in through social media in particular. So I know
Right.
digital marketing must be super important. Like, it should be super important for you to measure the leads that are coming in so that you can get the sales.
Right.
So how is your relationship with the sales team or like the coordinators?
Well, I have direct connection with the sales manager uh, because they are the ones basically playing around with the pricing. They have that one-on-one interaction with the patients, with the customers, and we try to do kind of probably weekly meetings, or at least my door is open every time they come up with new ideas, so we can go ahead and execute those ideas. But the marketing and the sales team, they have to be one-on-one always. It has to be it cannot be a silo department. They have to be within the same ideas.
Yeah, definitely. Because you're working towards the same goal.
Correct.
So when making strategic marketing decisions, what processes or methods do you usually use?
So one of the initial one of the initial strategies, it's based everything on data. We base it off of, we use a lot of Google Analytics, a lot of data basically, to eventually come up with the next strategy, to come up with, okay, what market we're going to go into, how we're going to go into that market, if it's worth it spending money into that market because of the amount of, of people that we're getting captured on that market. So everything goes by data. We use Google Analytics. We use SEMrush for the SEO, um, and since we do a lot of PPC, we use a lot of the Facebook analytics that they provide, basically.
Okay. What do you what do you use for learning new skills or new concepts? Like to keep refreshing, because marketing is forever evolving, it's forever changing. So what do you use to keep up with the trends and to learn new skills?
Well, but it's basically, I think YouTube, it's one of those platforms that provides you with all the information. And as you said, marketing is evolving a lot. So for myself to keep on those things, I usually come up when I come up with an obstacle, right? And I see that we need a little more learning. I go into YouTube and learn more about it. It's basically YouTube provides you with everything.
Yeah, that's true. And touching on the obstacles, what do you think is your biggest challenge or just the biggest challenge in general in digital marketing, and how do you address it?
Well, you just said it. Keeping up with technology. Technology is evolving way too fast for people to keep up,
Yeah.
especially for schools,
Mhm.
especially for people that are just coming out from college, getting their bachelor's in marketing. It's marketing right now. Marketing evolves way too fast. It's evolving faster than the curriculum.
Mhm.
So one thing you're actually learning in school when you step out into the field, well, that thing was about 2 years ago, and you just had it last semester. That's how fast it's evolving. That's why the experience to get your hands on and be able to learn by yourself, it's really important on digital marketing. And not only in digital marketing, I think it's everything that has technology involved in it. So that's the reason why.
Yeah, I agree. Could you describe your greatest success in digital marketing so far?
Well, I think there's success. It depends on the type of the company. I think on all the companies I've been lucky enough to work with, we've had different type of successes, and I think we can measure success by having a company that's growing. So all the companies I've been lucky to work with, they've been growing. They've been in the growth stage. So my efforts within the department and the company, you could see them on sales. At the end of the day, it's the revenue that marketing is bringing. I
Mhm.
think it's an overall.
Yeah. And could you discuss your worst digital marketing failure, like any failed campaigns, which I know we never want to have, but it happens, and how you possibly resolved it or what you learned from it?
Well, I think fails. We fail every time. I think fail is not bad. Fail is actually good, and I'm gonna tell you why. There's something that I use personally. Something is called agile marketing, and agile marketing is doing a lot of testing campaigns and testing environments for you to be able to pivot on those failures. Because if you start with a hypothesis, thinking about the success of a campaign. So you basically say, okay, I think the ROI on this campaign is gonna be 50%. But you launch the campaign, you wait 2 weeks, and the ROI is only at 10%. That's a failed campaign. The good thing about having those failed campaigns is that you be able to trigger down what was the thing that was missing,
Mhm.
right? So having failed campaigns, it's really important in marketing. It's more important to have failed campaigns than success campaigns,
Yeah.
because with failed campaigns you can pivot and eventually have those success campaigns,
Mhm.
right? So failure is not bad, it's actually good at least on marketing,
Yeah, because you learn from your mistakes and then you can
right?
make sure
You
not to.
could pivot.
Yeah.
Correct.
Okay. So how has social media changed in the marketing industry over the past 5 years, I would say?
All that social media is one of those icebreakers in the industry, because before social media everything was about Google. Everything was about search engine optimization, and before everything was about having the websites look good, having a good SEO, and that's it. Right now, when social media came in, it's not only about SEO. It's also about all the content that you post. It's having the you're giving the power to the public for them to to change your brand in minutes, to
Mm-hmm.
perceive your brand in minutes, right? Before social media, it took time for you to be able to understand, okay, I need to make these changes. There's an issue with the X or Y customer. There's something with social media, it's real time analytics basically that you could base off social media. I think social media use it changed the whole industry basically.
Yeah, social media has become really powerful, like a really
Yeah.
powerful. What opportunities do you believe or threats have arisen because of social media?
One of the opportunities came up is the contact, the power of the customer to be in contact with the company real time.
Mm-hmm.
I think before that wasn't happening. Before customers didn't have a voice.
Yeah.
Now they do have a voice. Now one single mention could affect the whole reputation of a company in millions, in seconds. It's incredible.
Yeah, it is. My team directly handles DMs, and it's so amazing to be able to communicate with the surgical community and to guide them through the surgical process through social media. I think it really makes the experience like unique and one of a kind.
Right.
How do you think marketers can be prepared for the opportunities or threats that arise because of social? Like,
I think one of the like there's no preparedness you could do with the issues that are gonna rise on social media, right?
mhm,
But at least you have to be the company has to understand that if you're on social media, you have to be as clear as possible, right?
mhm,
You can and you have to be honest as clear as possible as a company, as a brand,
mhm.
because now the customer has the power. They have the voice and they can do whatever they want with the brand. So I think on the marketing side, to be honest, to be clear, it's really important for a brand and for a company to understand that.
Yeah, I agree. What has been a digital trend that you've been excited about? A new trend.
The new trend, I think the best the one trend that I'm looking at it's the data and the the relationship that's going on with data and marketing and the cloud. Everything that's going to the cloud, everything being managed in the cloud. I think that the the technology, that technology and marketing, that trend that's going on right now, that how technology is evolving, is making marketing evolve. I think that's a trend right now.
Yeah, definitely. People are talking a lot about personal branding. How has this concept changed with the introduction of social media and digital publishing?
Well, you gotta remember that personal branding has been around for a very long time, right? And and as I said it before, personal branding was only available on you actually making a website with your name, making it the URL, right?
Mhm.
Now personal branding with social media is becoming more powerful because social media you just create platforms, social media platforms, and you could be there in minutes, out there in minutes.
Yeah,
There's no AdWords or PPC campaigns that you could do to improve it. It's very powerful. There's a lot of influencers that they don't even pay Google a dime for them to be out there, and they have millions of followers, and they have more followers than any other company.
yeah, I,
So personal branding, it's social media made personal branding possible.
yeah. It certainly made the process a little easier for persons who probably don't have marketing knowledge but wanna be
Right.
like content creators or influencers and speak to a specific niche, it's made it very possible for them.
Right.
So, what would you recommend to people who are trying to change careers and enter the marketing world?
I think they have to be passionate about technology. They have to be they have to be those people that can't stop learning. That they go that one topic isn't enough, right? They need to be so a good marketing in today's world is someone that knows about a little bit about everything, not only one concept, not only about social media, not only about how a website works, but a digital marketer today, they need to understand the back end, the technology, and everything that's driven the marketing. They need to understand SEO. They need to understand PPC. They need to understand email marketing, social media. Everything. A digital marketer has to be well-rounded if they want to have a chance on this industry.
Yeah, that would be really good advice. So that is all the questions that I have for you today. And thank you so much for letting me with you and ask you these questions. I know it was a lot, but your answers were very great. They were very concise, and I'm sure they're very informative for my audience who will be seeing the video.
It will be a pleasure, Leanne. You have a wonderful day.
You as well.
Night. Thank you. See you. Bye bye.